Here with Levi Aberle, the Mr. Fortified man. I think it's nice.
Mr. Fortified.
Mr. Fortified. Or
the Fortified man.
Or the Fortified man. You're the dude.
We're still branding.
We're branding.
We're going to work with it.
We're branding. We're working. It may change tomorrow. Who knows? But anyways, Fortified Buildings LLC is your business. You're the owner and the president. And you lay down radiant flooring.
I do. Yes.
Tell me about why.
Well, we've got a lot of reasons why.
Yeah.
The first and foremost is the efficiency.
Yes.
We're just gonna lay that out on the table that it's the most efficient way that we've found to heat any modern day build. When I say modern, a high efficiency home or a radiant floor system in a barn dominium.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what you build is barn dominium.
We specialize in barn dominiums.
Specialize in barn dominiums. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so you found this to be the most energy efficient way, and you put it in your home.
It's in my house. Yeah.
Yeah. So we talk about radiant flooring, the heating aspect of it all. What about cooling the home?
So cooling is very integral in a modern system with heating.
Yeah.
Because you have an air handler that is going to also force the air throughout the home. You can use it in a modern or in a traditional system in both ways. You can force your heat and you can force your cooling. Right? Or you could just circulate the air. In this style of home, since we have the air conditioning in place, it's normally zoned at like a layer 1, a single zone system. It's just circulating the cooling throughout the home. Yeah. Except for in the wintertime when you're circulating, the heat, but it's not running as heat, right? So what we typically do is we have a single zone system that is going to force that cool air throughout the home, keep the whole house perfectly comfortable. Where there's an added benefit is that this home, without the heat system on, we're also going to have a natural cooling effect to the concrete. Because it's so close to the earth, it naturally stays a little bit cooler, right? So it's a little bit less of a load on our air conditioning. Now there's several different ways to look at this, because if this was a forced air heater type of system, with a natural gas burner that's blowing hot air right into the whole home, it's probably going to be zoned in different areas, pushing heat into that room because that room wants heat, or the upstairs or the living room, or maybe sometimes even the garage. But in this system, it's kind of just circulating and keeping it all consistent. One of the other ways to look at it is that you also have the money you're saving by not putting in a furnace, which kind of cancels out that one-to-one that I was talking about. Right. So by not putting, a natural gas or a propane fired furnace in your system for your, forced air system, you're saving some of that cost. Yeah. So it's not a one-to-one ratio of it being more expensive. What you're paying for is the labor and the materials to put the system in place. Yeah. But it's not equatable kind of across to a forced air system, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And this is in every one of your homes. In your home, you didn't have radiant flooring until you got your current home, correct?
That's correct.
So what did you notice bill-wise, heating and cooling the home compared to your previous home?
Well, I come from a small home.
Oh yeah,
and I built a bigger home.
Yeah,
I built a big home.
Bigger home.
But I'll tell you what, that my 4,000 plus square foot home is cheaper to heat with radiant floor heating than my 800 square foot home that I came from.
That's unbelievable.
With forced air.
Yeah, you would think that would be like 5 times more expensive.
I'm being completely realistic. Yeah. I mean, I was paying over $250 a month in heating with a forced air system in a 900 square foot home versus what I paid now. In fact, our January was the highest bill we've had ever, was $150 in natural gas.
That's unbelievable.
And over 4,000 square feet.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and it's all due to the effectiveness of radiant flooring.
The efficiency of it, correct?
Efficiency, yeah.
So the floor coverings, the biggest thing is that we have these in-ground temperature probes, right? So what you don't want to do is create if that temperature probe is within this zone, you don't want to put carpet on this side of the wall and tile on that side of the wall.
Okay.
Because that side of the wall is going to get the heat radiated out of it faster than this side with the carpet.
Right.
So you want to keep it consistent within the zones, and that's what's really important about your builder to understand.
Yeah.
But in most modern homes, people have consistent flooring. You know, aside from the wet locations, their bathrooms, you know, they might want tile if they're doing an LVP throughout the rest of the house. But in most cases, people are really happy and comfortable with the concrete look. You can do so much with the look.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been impressed. I've been very impressed. The Everton property, your home, the other property we've done. How many zones are here in this?
This is a 2-zone system.
Oh, really?
So, believe it or not, we've got the master bedroom, which is on that whole half of the house. That is a single zone, which is, we try to isolate and specifically our supplier, when it comes to these radiant systems, they do a load calculation based off of the number of windows and the efficiency of the home when it comes to the structure. But that side of the house is strictly you know, heated to the comfort of it being a bedroom. Right, so the fact that there's a bathroom and all that kind of stuff over there is a mute point to the fact that we're trying to heat that as a bathroom or master bedroom.
Master bedroom.
Yeah. Now this whole home, or this whole half of the home, is all living space.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a kitchen here, we've got a living and dining room section here, you know, big open glass area going out to the porch, and then you have your front door on this side.
So you had mentioned a little earlier about the geothermal, the space with the crawl space. Dig deeper into that.
Yeah,
that makes a big difference, correct?
Specifically with a crawl space and a forced air system, you naturally have a little bit of an energy loss just in your ductwork that's going in the floor. Because going back to the multiple zone systems, this has multiple zones, but it's all in the concrete. A forced air system has zones also. Unless the house is, you know, just a little shed,
right?
You know, then, but you have these zones. So ideally in the summertime, you want to cool from above,
right?
So you have a falling duct, which is what we put in all of our homes, right? So if you've got a concrete slab, you can't put the ducts for the heating in the floor, which is what you'd want with a crawl space. But with the crawl space, and you've got these ducts running, you know, the full length of the home and all that kind of stuff, that crawl space is typically very cool without the extra infrastructure costs of, you know, insulating and air conditioning that crawl space. It's just a very inefficient way to run ducts.
We have Madison Seeley here. I want to go ahead and bring my mic to her, bring her on. She has radiant flooring with her home, and I think I might have turned this off. I hit the button, it's still going. Madison, you were kind of apprehensive at first to get radiant flooring.
Yeah, I was, just because, you know, it's already expensive to build a house, but it seemed like an investment. But when you all broke it down to me, it seemed like it was going to save me in the long run, and I want to say it definitely has saved me so far. I've really seen the efficiency of it and how easy it was to integrate into my lifestyle.
So when you talk about that, it's really helpful on your paying the bills at the end of the month.
Oh yeah, I've rented homes, I've lived in other homes, and you know, I've had a heat bill be $200, and I've seen a significant difference in my bills now.
Much more comfortable.
Yes, it's very comfortable. I love the look of it. I love how easy it is for me to learn, and we just love it.
Absolutely.
Nice warm feet in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, and I get cold, so.
Yeah.
There you go, and that's what you hear all the time from people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's especially with our older customers. When I say older, I mean that respectfully. That they want warmer floors.
Yeah.
And in fact, we used to get contracted all the time for radiant remodels. You know, people wanted to cover their floors with radiant heating just so that they had warmer floors. And in building it from the start, there's almost no way to go wrong. If
you would like to talk to this guy, Fortified Man, how do they get a hold of you?
Our website, fortifiedbuildingsllc.com, or you can call me, 303-563-9374. My name, Levi Aberly, at gmail.com. You're more than welcome to reach out, shoot us a line on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of that. We're around. Just Google us. ChatGPT knows us very well.
They do.
We're the highest ranked regional barn dominium builder on ChatGPT.
And we would like to have you as a customer today.